Let's get some analysis on the US election race. Senior fellow at the Strategic Policy Institute, Mark Watson. I won't ask you about the McDonald's analysis. That was extraordinary. That bloke has eaten so many thousand Big Macs. Can't be good for you. Can't be good for the heart. But election campaign, keeping us interested. John Kelly, former Chief of Staff to Donald Trump. What did you make of his comments?
In any other campaign, you'd think this would be critical. It would somehow shift the needle. I don't think it'll make any difference at all. I mean,
says he's a fascist.
Yeah, well, he's not the first one. I mean, Mark Milley, who's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, said explicitly Donald Trump was fascist to the core, I think was the quote. So for mine, Donald Trump is a known quantity. People who are voting Trump will either not believe this story or they'll believe it but don't care. People who are voting for Harris will just reinforce their views. As I say, Donald Trump is a known quantity at this stage. The Americans have seen him over a long period of time. They've made their mind up.
And the vast majority, I know that it's caused quite a bit. It's given the Democrats something to run with. But as you said, the vast majority of Americans have heard this stuff before.
Yeah. In any other...
They've heard these concerns or these issues raised before, and a lot of them wouldn't even know who John Kelly is.
No, that's exactly right. How many, would-be Trump or Harris voters are reading the New York Times or, watching CNN? Not as many as you might think. In any other campaign, as I say, you'd think this would be a major story, but let's face it, we've had criminal indictments, we've had civil findings of sexual assault, we've had not one but two foiled assassination attempts, we've got a former president serving fries at a McDonald's. I think this just gets filed under business as usual in this campaign.
It's so very well said. I want to play for our viewers now a comment Donald Trump made about his phone calls, his interactions with Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel.
But we're going to take care of Israel, and they know that. Bibi called me yesterday, called me the day before. We have a very good relationship. And I have to say fortunately, they didn't listen to Biden, because if they listened to Biden, they'd right now be waiting for a bomb to drop on them.
Yeah, so Donald Trump there, obviously those connections continue, including with Netanyahu, who's been under pressure to achieve a ceasefire, to ease some of the conflict ongoing in the Middle East. Donald Trump says lucky Israel didn't listen to the current president.
Yeah, it's clear that relations between Benjamin Netanyahu and President Biden have deteriorated. I don't think there's a lot of actual communication going on there, no matter what calls are made. Politically, for both parties, Prime Minister Netanyahu and for former President Trump, it makes sense. The former president can burnish his pro-Israel credentials, and Prime Minister Netanyahu, I would think, would be looking to the future, thinking if there's going to be another Trump presidency, can I get to him now, maybe shape some of his perceptions about what's happening and get a sense of where the former president stands on this?
The last week and a bit of the campaign, momentum is everything. I noticed that Beyonce is going to be joining the campaign for Kamala Harris. Maybe Beyonce provides the bounce that Kamala Harris needs, because they need something, don't they?
They do need something. Ever since the initial upswing following the convention and then the debate, it would plateaued, and now support for Harris is slowly trickling down, particularly in the key swing states. All 7 are showing a slight firming for Donald Trump. Look, honestly, I'm not sure how much celebrity endorsements make a difference at this stage. I think it probably appeals to already Democrat voters. Not many Republicans are going to change their vote because Beyonce endorses Kamala Harris, but it maybe just gives Kamala Harris a bit of a lift personally, gives the campaign a bit of a lift, but I don't think it changes many voters' intentions at this stage.
It is still close, isn't it? Despite the shift in momentum, it remains close.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's firmed for Donald Trump, Arizona's firmed for Donald Trump. The others are showing slight advantages for Donald Trump, but they're so slight and so small, they could go either way, well within the margin of error. But the trend at this stage of a campaign is critical, and the trend for Kamala Harris is going in the wrong direction.
And it comes down to all that turnout, as you and I have discussed.
Absolutely, and that's why maybe these sorts of things with celebrities, maybe it does help motivate some people who are going to sit at home. Maybe it does motivate some of them to go and vote.
Mark Watson, thank you.